Do you know sometimes we don't pay attention to this, but do you know that sometimes we are our own enemy when it comes to success in this country? There was a lady called me and she was complaining about her relationship, and I asked her some few questions, and it seems like she lived with her husband, and then the husband is not even helping in anything when it comes to finances, when it comes to helping in the house and all sort of things. This individual think he is, uh, he has upper hand, and because he has so many children with the woman in this country, he can apply African mentality, the way Africans live with their wife in Africa here. And this lady was just complaining about it, was talking to me and asking me so many questions, what she can do and all sort of things. Um, the reasons why I'm coming out with this is that I'm not, trying to bash anybody, trying to bash any guy, any lady, or whatever it is. But sometimes there are some things we need to talk about as minority. There are some things we need to pay attention to. Because if I say there are some things we need to pay attention, we need to pay attention to what is going on within ourselves, our mentality, our family, our everything. Because you can't live here and then bring um, the way we live back home in Africa, here in the United States. You can't live here and then ignore your wife or your husband because you want to make money. You want to make money to go and build mansions in Africa. You want to make money to go and build whatever it is in Africa. But what we don't pay attention is we don't pay attention that this is where we live. We live in the United States. We live in civilized society. We live in a country that sky is the limit when it comes to success. If you want to be successful, sky is the limit in this country. Sky is the limit. You can achieve anything you want. Even you can be president if you were born here. If you were not born here, you can go all the way up to even senator. You can be a billionaire, you can run a company, you can be successful, you can be everything. All depends on your determination. What you want in life, what you want to be, what you want your children. If you think you came into the country late, what you didn't achieve, you can help your children get it by having a very good relationship with your family, with your wife or your husband. You see, what we don't know in this country is that it takes two people to succeed in this country. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's only in United States, but any other countries, if you go to any other countries or any country that you live in, even your own motherland, it takes two people to succeed. If you want to be successful, you want your family to be successful, your children, education, and everything, it takes two. Some people might prove me wrong that they live alone and then they are okay, they are this and that and then that. But let me tell you, you being alone, doing okay, is not okay. I'm not just telling you to go and marry. I'm not telling you to go and do anything. I'm not telling you that, living alone is bad. No. But in reality, it takes two. That's why Bible tells us, it said, it takes two to raise a family. It takes two, to do anything. So if you want to be successful in this country, folks, both those guys out there and the ladies, try to make sure that you do what? You bond with the person you live with. If you're married, try to focus. If you are not selfish and you want your family to be successful, your children education to be successful, you want yourself, your wife, you want to enjoy your relationship, then try to be honest. Try to be honest with your wife. Try to be honest with your husband. If you are honest with the person that you live with, your life will never be the same. Selfishness kills. Selfishness destroys human life. Selfishness destroys everything. Sometimes we keep on complaining that, we point fingers, but at the moment you start pointing one finger at somebody, you tend to forget that the rest point back at you. Once you keep on complaining about somebody, you keep on complaining about somebody not doing something right, you ask yourself, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing to make things right in your home? Think about buying a house in this country, and the house you bought with your wife or your husband, you don't want to contribute. You don't want to pay mortgage. You don't want to support to pay rent. You don't want to do anything. Because why? You think maybe you're a guy, or maybe you are a woman. So you don't want. Last time I was talking with somebody, and then this individual was telling me that he had a girlfriend. They were living together. And then the girl decided not to support paying the rent. When the guy confronted his girlfriend said, oh, before me you were paying your rent. Look at this. But the girl tends to forget that when she was living alone somewhere in an apartment, she was paying rent over there. Folks, these are some of the things, minorities, we need to pay attention to. Because if you want to be successful, if you want to be great in this country or in abroad, we need to unite. Unification is one of the things that a lot of people doesn't pay attention to. I keep on, my program, I keep on talking about unification. I tell people all the time, I said, you know what? If you want to be successful, unite. If minority communities, we want to be successful, we need to unite. We need to support each other. The same thing applies to living in a house. If you live with your family, with your husband or your wife, you need to unite. You need to make sure that, you do things together. Because it takes two people to survive in this country. If you own a house and you think you want one person to pay the mortgage, and then the other person buys food all the time, or you live together and said, oh, I want you to pay the mortgage, because the mortgage is the highest, right? So you are smart. You want to tell the guy or the woman to pay the mortgage, then you'll buy food. Fine. What about if one partner is sick and they can't pay the mortgage? Are you going to step in? No, because you are used to it. It's going to be a problem. You wish, even if you step in, you wish the person can just get up and then go and then pay the mortgage. Because you don't want to spend your money. Folks, unification is very, very important. You need to come together. Save together, man. If you want to be successful, save together. Put your money together. You see, this is a country that divorce is one of the second thing in this country. Not even in the United States, both UK and other European countries. Divorce, African divorce is one of the headache in this time. People divorce without any reasons. People divorce without even thinking about, their children. Think about, you have 3 children with a woman, and you think you are a good father, then you run away from these children. How do you expect, as a good father, want these children to survive? Do you want this woman to struggle alone? Or even if you're a woman and then you marry to a guy and you keep on bullying the man, do not respect the man, try to, harass the man, try to torture the man because you have children with him. How do you expect your children? If you want to be successful, folks, I just want you to know that, hey, we need to come together. We need to come to our senses just to make sure that we don't do things that a lot of people have been doing in this country or in abroad, causing a whole lot of havoc and a whole lot of troubles for our children. Our children. We are not here alone because of our own personal needs. At the moment you are here, start having babies, you need to think that you have responsibility to take care of those kids, their education, where they live, and then everything. And everything. That's why I keep on telling people, I said, look, if you are here in the United States or Canada or anywhere that you can buy a house, you need to focus yourself and then work hard towards achieving your dream of home ownership. Why? Because if you have a place for your children, it doesn't matter how big, small it is you. It is yours. It belongs to you. Nobody can come and tell you to move. If you're renting, think about, those of you who are renting, your neighbor upstairs can come and then knock your door. You are making mistake. You are making noise. Your children are making noise, and this and that and that. Inconveniences. But if you own your house, nobody can come in and tell you anything. Nobody can come in and tell you that you are making noise in your basement. Nobody. You own your house. You own it. And then your children are comfortable coming home with their friends. Your children are comfortable studying. Your family is always happy. I'm not saying that, you don't own a house, you cannot be successful. Look, but there is a benefit of owning a house. You can rent. Some people are renting and they're being successful. They live with their family, which is fine. It's so amazing. If you can afford to rent a very quality place, both combined income to rent a quality place for your children, that is fine. But the reasons why I'm talking about owning a house is that you buy a house, the equity itself is one of the investment for you. You keep on paying your mortgage. You keep on paying your mortgage. It's sort of savings. It helps you grow wealth in the near future for your children, for yourself, for your family. So it is very, very important, folks, for us to make sure that, we come together and then stop being selfish. Stop being selfish. We need to help each other grow. Folks, the time has come as an Africans, the time has come as minorities to work hard towards everything. We do things and then turn around to blame others. It's so funny that somebody is living in the United States and then calling some pastor in Africa to help them find a job here. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? You live in the United States and then calling somebody in Africa to help you find a job. Calling some fetish priest in Africa to look into your destiny, to find out what is wrong with you, why you can't find a job, why you can't get married. But you tend to forget that maybe there was some kind of habit that were hindering you from getting what you're looking for. What you need to do is you think, you sit down and then think and then say, hey, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing? Do I have the education I need to find a better job? Why do I have a partner? Why did I leave my husband? Why did I leave my wife? Why am I struggling? These are some of the things you need to sit down as minority to do what? To work hard, to think about it. Because normally blaming others, calling other pastors to pray for you doesn't make any sense. Last time I was talking with a lady, and then this lady was telling me that there was some pastor in Africa, I think in Ghana or some countries, and that she keeps on sending money all the time. You work here, make $4,000, and then send it to Africa to a certain pastor to pray for you. Are you out of your mind? Are you crazy? Because, look, sometimes God let devil steal away from people. God. I'm sorry to say this, but it's true. Sometimes God lets devil steal away from people. The reasons why I'm saying this is that sometimes God, you will work hard because of your evil and then selfishness mindset. You will work and then send the money to somebody who never even lay finger on anything to enjoy the money. That's how it is. because we don't think. Some of us, I'm not saying everybody, look, if I'm saying this and then some of you are offended, forgive me, but it is true. What I'm saying is true. What I'm saying, I'm just trying to say something to help me and you grow. Because that is the only way me and you can be successful. You know, you see, minorities, mostly Africans, I speak for Africans. I try to talk because I know what is going on within our community. I know people complain. You know, think about it this way, that somebody will work really hard, help you come to abroad, either in Europe, UK, Canada, Germany, Belgium, or anywhere, United States or anywhere. And then at the moment you come in, you try to think you are smarter than the person who helped you, brought you to this country. What kind of, thinking is this? Do you think if you do this to that individual, will you be successful? No, your life will never be the same. Or even you came to this country and then someone is helping you to go to school. You said, no, I'm not going to school. I want to do this work that gave you money every single day, every single month. You need quick money, so you don't want to go to school. You need quick money, so you don't want to be loyal with your partner, because you want to make your money and then go and build whatever, mad house you want to build in Africa. Look, let me tell you, folks, if you want to be successful, we need it. We need to come together. We need to make sure that we know what we are doing. We need to make sure that we do what? We come together and then bond together. Because it takes two, as I keep on saying this, you know what? It takes two people to survive. It takes two people. It doesn't matter, even in Africa. Africa where, even if you don't work, maybe probably you might eat. It takes two. It takes two, a husband and a wife. That's why we have proverbs in Africa that it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village, the whole village, to raise a child. I remember when I was a kid, if I go out and do something wrong, my teacher can just call me and then do what? Spank me. Even not in school, outside. Anytime I go somewhere and then I see my teacher, elementary school teacher somewhere, and then he knows that I'm supposed not to be that location at that point, I had to run away because I can be punished. I can be punished. Africans, minorities, we need to learn and then know that we need to come together as one. We need to come together as one in everything. When it comes to elections, when it comes to votes, when it comes to churches, when it comes to our relationship, it takes two people to make it work. It takes two families to make it work. If you are living alone and then you think you are all right, yeah, so be it. You are okay. But let me tell you, if you want to be successful in my real estate business, I have seen a lot of people who are so happy, so successful, maintaining their home. They've lived in their house without any issue. They've lived in their homes with no late payment and all sort of things, and then sold their house, made more money, and then move on to another one. Because they are one. They are one. Two families are one. I'm not saying that if you live alone, you can't maintain your house. No, that's not what I'm saying. But if I were you, if I live together with my partner, I will make sure that we live, if you want to enjoy our life, if you want to be so successful, if you want our children to grow, or even if we don't have children, we want to live a perfect life so that in the near future, at the end of the day, we can retire and take vacations, have money in our account and all sort of things, then we need to bond. Sometimes, people marry for nothing. They marry because they marry for something, not in love. Because if you are married and then you live together, you can sleep with a person, you can see that individual naked with no issue, but you can't let the person know the money you are making. What kind of love is this? Did you marry the money because of one thing? Or did you marry the person because you just want to just marry that individual in the namesake, for the namesake? No. So folks, let us all think and then see how we can do things. I mean, it's very, very important. United States is changing. United States is changing. Minorities, African Americans, Africans, Caribbeans, and all sorts of things. We need to know that this country is not going to be the same as it was. So we need to keep our house together. We need to make sure that we are united, we work, we build our family, we take care of our family, we take care of our community. That is what it is. I'm not saying anything against any tribe or anything or whatever it is, but it is advice. It is advisable for us to do this. Folks, your life depends on what you want to do. Your success depends on you. If you are not successful, you ask yourself why you are not. Why you are not. Do not blame anybody. Do not work hard and then send your money to Africa to a certain pastor because you think that pastor can help you. You are lying. You are fooling yourself. You are completely fooling yourself. You are not doing, you think you are smart. No. I've seen some women who, here they have their pastors. They are married. Here, they are married. They live with their husband. They can't call even their husband Papa. They can't call their husband honey. They can't call their husband in any name. But they can call somebody sitting somewhere in Africa, somewhere sitting in Caribbean, somewhere sitting in minority countries, somewhere sitting somewhere, daddy. Daddy. So work hard, hide their money and send it to that individual. Aren't you crazy? Aren't you crazy, please? I'm just, sometimes I don't understand this. Sometimes I don't. So folks, it's very, very important. Just for you to be, for us to be successful, we need to learn about how to come together. If we don't try to unite and then do things right, we will keep on complaining. We will keep on complaining every single day. Every single day in our life, we will complain. If you live alone and then you think things are going well, yes, of course, pray that nothing happens to you. Pray that nothing seriously happens to you, because if something happens to you, it's then that you know that somebody is very important around you. Somebody is very important around you. I could remember, so I had a friend and this guy was living alone. He was working hard, making his money, and then one day his life changed because he was living alone. So why should you think living alone is very, very good? No, you have to think, I'm not forcing you to marry because you don't want to. I'm not telling you to go and find somebody if you don't want to. But just if you by chance, you live with somebody, all hands are not equal. All hands are not equal. So living with that individual, maybe when it comes to some things, both of you might not agree. Because why? You were raised by a different family. He was raised by a different family. So coming together, it takes time to learn, to come together. It takes time to understand each other. So if by God's grace you come and meet somebody, or somebody bring you from Africa or wherever to this country to come and join them, folks, I'm just telling you, don't try to be naive. Don't try to take advantage of that individual.